Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for the week of January 2nd. We're going to jump right in here, Taurus, and we're going to see what is going on for you at this time. And, I don't be afraid to, kind of like start from the beginning. I've been getting this message for for other people as well. You have this porcupine spirit in your general energies, and it says time for beginner mind. But it's not like, I want to stress that it's not like you're starting over again. And I kind of feel like I've said this to you before. Look, you even have this Phoenix card, which is like obviously a phoenix rising from the ashes. So I do feel that some of you are kind of starting over in some sense, and maybe you're not starting completely over. I actually feel like you're starting over from a better position. It's like sometimes we just, I think sometimes we just have to start from scratch, right? Or we just have to kind of go back to the beginning. And, I also think that sometimes the stuff that we forget when we're doing something like a business, for example, or a career, it's not the hard stuff that we forget, right? It's not like the complex stuff that we never remember. It's the easy stuff. It's like, anything I do. I always think about this, Taurus, because pretty much everything I do, just in life in general, it's like anytime I make a mistake, it's a beginner mistake. It's not, it's not some sort of super complex task that I'm doing, right? It's always the easy stuff. So, I kind of do feel that this is saying, number one, pay attention. Don't be complacent. Not that you would, but I think the small details are important here. I also think here that if you're starting something new, that you really only need the kind of the basics, or I think if you're looking for something to learn the basics of something, because that'll probably, carry you further than learning something like super complex or whatever. So I get all that. You have the Justice card, the Four of Pentacles, and the Nine of Cups here. Could be some sort of wish coming in for you. You have two nines out. Whenever I have a reading with like two nines like this, you actually have three nines. But multiple nines to me definitely represents a new beginning. I do feel like you're having a new beginning, but in the sense that, again, that Phoenix card really stands out to me. You also have this other card. It says you will break free from all that no longer serves you. So that's maybe what you're shedding, is like just the things that no longer serve you, which kind of makes sense. You have the Eight of Cups here. You also have the Nine of Cups. On the Nine of Cups, he is very focused on his own fulfillment. And so it's like, obviously, if you're shedding things that no longer serve you, you're doing it so that you can have fulfillment. You also have the Four of Pentacles here. Definitely a change. I feel like you do need to have a breakthrough. It's kind of interesting because, part of me does feel this is a breakthrough reading, but part of me also feels that you could stay right where you are. So, it's kind of like the choice is yours, Taurus. Do you want to have a breakthrough at this time? Do you want to exceed your own expectations, do more than you ever thought possible? Or do you want to stay where you are? And if you're wondering, like, how do I escape my current situation? Because I can hear you all asking that question. You have the Justice card. Justice is cause and effect. It's almost like you're sitting right in front of something that could set you free. We see this going this direction right here. Justice, Knight of Pentacles to the Death card. Death is connected to this Eight of Cups, which is showing up in the row of the good stuff. So it's like clearly this would be walking towards, it's like this is what you want, the Nine of Cups, and I feel like this is your way to get it, if that makes sense. But then I also feel like this is the journey right here, just putting it all together in my head. And the Knight of Pentacles, he's reaching out to the Nine of Pentacles. She has grapes behind her, and grapes in the tarot represent something that kind of represents, something that requires a lot of skill to grow. So I feel for a lot of you, justice is the answer. Justice is cause and effect. It's like you actually do know what to do, number one. It's like if you're starting a business, or if you're thinking about leaving a relationship or getting into a relationship that provides you with more fulfillment, that Knight of Pentacles says you're over-prepared, really. And so I kind of get this feeling, this reading is saying you are over-prepared for a breakthrough, but, I think you're the one that needs to take action, obviously. With the Justice card, you have this Egotism card. You might be, I don't think this is a bad thing, by the way. I feel if you are dealing with a person, maybe you're just taking your time because you want to make sure that this person actually does what they say they will do. And so, and we see love here at the end, so we'll talk about that in a minute. But you might be kind of, wanting some, you might want to be seeing them back up their word. So I don't really feel that's that big of a deal. With the Four of Pentacles, you have this Flattery card. Definitely could be love coming in for you. I do feel like you're flirting with an idea. And it's like sometimes I think we can have an idea that's very far apart, but also very close together. Let me give you an example. Before I had this channel, right? I had a channel years ago on YouTube. It no longer exists, but I had another channel where I was just like talking about literally like just the most random stuff, right? It's like same idea of what I do now, but I just do it in a different way. And so it's like I feel that for some of you. And it's like maybe you're too stuck on an idea here. I'm talking to those of you that want to, do something with your life. If you want a career, a business, a job, even if you're retired. People always say I'm retired. I'm like, okay, that doesn't mean, what do? Just sit around all day? It's like, there's plenty to do. So it's like, what do you want to do with the rest of your life? You're not going to just die tomorrow. Well, I don't know, but whatever. What I would say is there's a lot of stuff to do. And I feel like this is saying like your idea is correct, the direction of the idea, but it's like maybe the way you're doing it isn't the right idea or whatever. And I feel like I've said this to you before. With the Nine of Cups, you have this loss card here. Again, it's like, I feel like you have experienced loss in the past in maybe relationships or whatever. And now it's like you're making sure that you can fulfill yourself. Some of you, I feel, are kind of like in a very good position where you're saying, in love, for example, you're saying, I'm going to get comfortable being on my own first and then allow a person into my life, which again is probably pretty good. Next, we're going to look at the next big change that you could be going through. And you have this thinker card. See, I love this card, but here's the thing. Is that she's sitting right here, and it's like there's another level over here, and you see there's like a face that's poking out at her, saying like, hey, there's something over here. I get a lot of this like Two of Wands type of energy in every single reading that I've been doing for, I don't know, like the past 2 years at least. Two of Wands is kind of like thinking that you've reached a pinnacle or that you've accomplished everything you can accomplish, but there's actually a lot more that you can accomplish. So don't be afraid to, again, try to exceed your own expectations. You have the Nine of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands. I do feel that for some of you, your next big change is that you could start talking to a person in love. Kind of looks like talking to me because, again, I do get a little bit of this like prove it energy on that ego card. I don't think it's a bad way. Normally, I wouldn't like that because it's like, how long are you going to make someone prove it, right? But I kind of just feel it's more like, okay, maybe you start talking to a person and maybe they're like, oh, I'm going to, take you out this week. And I feel like if they don't take you out that week, I feel like you're going to say, okay, this person can't live up to their word, so I'm done. Like, I feel like you're just more, kind of in that energy. I hope that makes sense. I don't think you're going to be like, again, maybe they have a good excuse, right? But maybe you're no longer like 3 chances. Maybe you're like, okay, this is like strike one. I'm going to give them one more chance and then that's it. I'm not going to get fully invested in something, where they're not going to live up to their word. So word is very important with the Eight of Wands. I also feel there is quick success coming in for you. It's like things are moving forward very quickly. I think your biggest challenge, especially for those of you in work or business, where you're seeing an increase in money or work, just like the amount of work that you're doing or whatever, is feeling like you don't know what you are doing. And what I would say here is more than enough right here. So this tells me to like, don't sell yourself short, don't hesitate. I feel like hesitation kills, right? So I feel like this is saying you need to get moving on something. And again, you know exactly what to do. You just have to do it. And guess what? We all make mistakes. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Could also be an earth sign that's coming in for you. You do have a lot of earth here. You also have fire. Those are the 2 that stand out to me. Also Scorpio stands out to me here. But again, take it how it resonates. Could be any sign. You have the Nine of Wands here. Nine of Wands is a card of the Wounded Warrior. It's also a card of putting up boundaries. I think you're really kind of taking another chance is what this is saying. Nine of Wands is kind of like the last chance, right? And even if we go this way, I think it's crazy that you have this beginner mind card and then you go to the nine, like we could pretend this is a diagonal here. And then you go Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, new beginning, Eight of Cups, walking towards a new beginning. So it looks to me like you're kind of like having this, very powerful, successful new beginning. With the Nine of Wands, you have this discrimination card. This is like discernment. It's not like discrimination, like racism. So it's just about being able to tell whether or not someone is going to put in the work or not in love, being able to tell, like what work you should do. And this makes sense with the Justice card. Again, pay attention to cause and effect, what works, what doesn't, and then keep doing what works. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have this extremism card. again, I would be careful. Sometimes I think with the Knight of Pentacles, if you get a card like this extremism card, it can represent like extreme thinking. And again, I encourage everyone to just try things right now, especially with Neptune and Pisces, because, I've been saying like no expectations with Neptune and Pisces. We have Neptune and Pisces until the end of 2025, because with Neptune and Pisces, we can, if we spend too much time thinking about something, then we create this fantasy, castles in the sky, these fantasies that maybe exist, maybe they don't exist. So we just have to find out, right? And I think that's like the name of the game. But again, the danger with Neptune and Pisces is that we can either think something is too good or too bad. It goes both ways. And really the trick with Neptune and Pisces is we have to find out. Luckily this year, in 2023, we have Saturn entering into Pisces, which I think will add a little bit of kind of like realistic action taking. And I also think it'll help people bring those ideas down to earth. With the Eight of Wands, you have this negotiation card, no settling. I would say no negotiation, no settling at this time. Again, I'm pretty sure I've said this to you before with this card that, if you have a dream to accomplish something, don't settle for anything less. And that's really what I feel that this is talking about. This is more Libra energy, so I would pay attention to where you're putting your energy, what you're getting back, blah, blah, blah. Next, you have this Phoenix card. It says, they couldn't stop you. You're coming back stronger. Love it. This is all a test of strength, pushing you beyond your comfort zone. You have this card that says, you will break free from all that no longer serves you. Definitely kind of like a major breakthrough here. This is what you don't see coming, by the way, in this row here. So I feel for a lot of you that there could be some sort of breakthrough and again, the Phoenix rising thing. But again, there's a burning down with the Phoenix, right? The Phoenix has to undergo the transformation through fire, which I feel like you've been going through. You have the Four Swords, which really suggests a recovery, probably from this transformation that you've been going through, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Death card. Death card being the most powerful change card in the tarot, the most powerful transformation card in the tarot is right here. So you clearly are at the end of your journey. Even the sun is coming up between the two pillars that are on the Moon card. You actually end with the Moon card, and you can see those two pillars if it wants to focus. I guess not, but the two pillars right there. And they're on the back of the Death card, and the sun is coming up. He also has this white rose here. That white rose, it kind of, on his card, the Death card, it kind of represents that like pinprick of light in the darkness. It represents the fact that only just the smallest bit of light can chase away the darkness. And I feel like that's what's happening for you. You have the Nine of Pentacles. I feel like you've been working on your independence, but I also just feel that Uranus and Taurus is gratitude and luxuries. Nine of Pentacles is the card of gratitude and luxuries. So I feel like you're very focused. I don't think you're focused on materialism, but I do feel like you are focused on having nicer things in life. And again, it's not about materialism. This is just about having quality items, having quality things in your life as well. I always use the example. It's like, I'm convinced that, it's like there's a lot of YouTube teachers out there that say, for example, that you don't need a good camera, which I totally agree with. You can totally start a YouTube channel with your cell phone, right? No problem. But I do think there is something to investing in your business. It's like once I kind of bought a camera that was really expensive for me at the time a couple of years ago. And like when I bought that camera, I blew up to 100,000. It's like I had been stuck for like 2 years. And I'm not saying it was just the camera, but I think it's the way the camera made me feel, if that makes sense. It made me feel more legit. I was no longer shooting my videos on a webcam, right? And, again, I'm not saying that things like that are going to work for everyone, but I do think there is something to kind of like having just quality things in your life, right? And I kind of feel that if you have a business, you could be investing in something here. That's why I'm telling you the story. I feel like it'll pay off. Again, obviously, don't go crazy here. I'm not telling you to put yourself out on the street or sell your home or anything crazy like that. But, if it's a little bit of a stretch, it might be worth it with that Nine of Pentacles. You also have the Four Swords. Again, I think you're just healing from kind of like going through a period of fire, if that makes sense. But let's see what is coming in for you. With that Four Swords, you have this appreciation card, a lot of appreciation energy here with the Nine of Pentacles as well. So when we express gratitude for the things that we have, we get more of it. So I would just express gratitude for all the nice things that you have in your life, and I feel like you'll just attract more of it. This right here is a cornucopia, so I do feel that there is like a lot of abundance and success coming in for you as well. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have this submission card. I feel like you're setting yourself free. Right here on this card, there's a bird in a cage, but you can see that the cage door is open. So I feel that it kind of gives me like Eight of Swords vibes. And I feel that some of you are maybe setting yourself free, or you need to set yourself free in some area of your life. And I actually feel like you're much more free than you realize. I think you're overthinking things as well. I'm just going to say that. With the death card, you have this criticism card. I feel like you need to not criticize yourself. I feel like I feel like that's your own finger pointing at yourself here on this card. So I think you need to get rid of the self-criticism. Can we get more details on that? And you have this intuition card. Trust your intuition as well. But I feel like you need to not beat yourself up for like mistakes and things like that as well. I don't really think anything's coming towards you, by the way. I think what's coming, is this really something that's coming towards you? I would say no. I think this is more of a process that you are undergoing. I think you're undergoing this. It's like you're creating your own breakthrough, if that makes sense. At the end here, for messages from your higher self, you have this high honor card. You also have this lovers card. So there could be a lover in the future coming in for you who has high honors. Maybe they're a leader in some way. Maybe they are successful in life. This could also be you. And I feel like the lovers could just be, in this deck, it's not like necessarily like the lovers in the tarot. It kind of is. But, I feel like it could be saying that you're matching up with something that just provides a lot of fulfillment. Could be like a business. You have the Wheel of Fortune here. The Wheel of Fortune is your destiny in the sense that it's your personal vision for your life. It is like how you see your destiny going, like what it means to you as a human, right? Not necessarily your higher self or anything like that, but what it means for you. And so for a lot of you, I feel that you could be also kind of, you saw it here with that thinker card where it's like there's that extra level. I feel like you're being kind of rotated up to the top here on the Wheel of Fortune, and you're getting closer to maybe your true purpose or whatever you want to call it, or at least you are feeling more purposeful, right? And I feel this feels really good. It's like if we're doing nothing, or if we feel like we're doing nothing, and then we start doing something, I feel it feels good. We feel fulfilled, and you are walking towards fulfillment. I feel like this is going to be happening between now and like April. This is the only card in the tarot that has an eclipse on it, and we just had a set of eclipses a couple months ago, and the next set of eclipses is going to be in April. It starts in April. And what I would say here is I feel for a lot of you between now and then, if you haven't already, I feel like you're going to be working a lot on your purpose, the things that you desire to do with your life, or the direction that you want to take it. And it's like you're searching for fulfillment. And again, I think the in-between eclipse seasons, right, is going to be the thing that kind of guides you to it. And we also, here you go, you have the moon. The moon represents a period of darkness, but we kind of already talked about this. It's like you're coming out of darkness. I feel like you're stepping into light with this reading, or you're stepping into a period of like more, more light, more attention, more something is popping into my head. So definitely love that with the moon. I actually don't feel like any fear or anything like that on the moon. Mostly because you have the death card here in your reading. So it's like you're coming into the light. With the moon card, you have this order card. Don't be afraid to get messy. I think nothing is going to happen in order right now. That does not mean we shouldn't plan or come up with plans, but I just think we just need to be flexible right now. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have this control card. Love it. Definitely could be a Capricorn coming in for some of you if you're looking for love. But this reminds me of the World card. It's another card of reinvention. And again, it's a pretty simple reading, Taurus. There's no reason to just keep going on and on and on about it. But I feel like there's a new beginning here. And like I said at the beginning of the reading, I feel like whatever you're doing, like if you're transforming your business from one thing to another, if you're transforming yourself from one thing to another, changing yourself in some way, changing your career, whatever, or even getting into a new relationship, I think it's like a complete 360, not even a 180. I feel it's a complete turnaround, complete breakthrough. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Fortune card. Could be a Leo coming in for some of you, but I do feel like there are good fortunes coming in for you, or at least you are heading towards this. Again, the Eight of Cups, this is clarifying the Eight of Cups, and this is Sun and Leo. So there could just be a lot of happiness, joy, good fortunes coming in for you at this time. Love it. We're going to pull 5 main themes now, and that's going to be that. I always clarify these. You have these monthly cards. I clarified the monthly card. You got another monthly card. So you have November and August here. I do feel that you could be revisiting something from November in this coming August in 2023. So Maybe if you went through something in November, if you did something in November, you could be doing it again in August of 2023. Can we ask why this is important? Maybe. You have this rabbit card, too much concern with sexual matters. I don't know. If you were with a person like that, I would be careful in that situation. You have this bird flying. It says news is on the way. I feel like there's good news here. You have the Eight of Wands as well. And so, I feel like you're really in a position of power here. I would also be careful giving your power away with that Eight of Wands and that negotiation card. It's like you might be, I kind of feel like some of you could be getting the sense that someone is communicating with you. It could be like in business, and maybe you can sense that you're winning. And I feel like you need to stick to your guns here. You have this wreath card. It says sorrow over a loss. I do feel like some of you maybe have experienced the loss of a person, and I feel like you're just kind of healing from it. You have the shield card. It says you need to defend yourself. Yeah, I feel this is more that Eight of Wands negotiation card. It's like I have a story popping into my head where it's like maybe you're negotiating something in business, and maybe you can sense that the other side is, maybe they're coming at you with like better and better opportunities. And I feel like that's your sign to not give up on what you want. It's like they might be kind of like seeming like they want what they want. And I hope this makes sense. I don't know. I feel like if you're in that situation, it'll make sense. Same thing in work as well. You also have this V card. It says V, victory in some endeavor. Love it. So definitely some victories coming in for you. But all in all, I think this is just a breakthrough reading, really. So love it. I think your last reading was a breakthrough reading as well, which is interesting. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. And definitely enjoy your week.